Hi, guys, it's Miss Sarah, and welcome to Family Storytime. I have two fun stories for you tonight, and they are both about one of my favorite animals, dogs. Are you ready? Our first one is called Dog Breath by Dave Pilkey, and it's called Dog Breath The Horrible Trouble with Halitosis. And for some of you that might not know, halitosis is a germs that you get in your mouth and makes you have really bad breath. And so this dog's name is halitosis. And can you see the illustrations? What do you think? Do you think this dog is going to have good breath or not so good breath? Probably not so good. The cool thing about this book is it's written and illustrated by Dave Pilkey. And he is the same author that writes Captain Underpants and Dog Man. Pretty cool, huh? Let's get started. There once was a dog named Hallie who lived with the Tosis family. Halitosis was a very good dog, but she had a very big problem. Look at the family. Halitosis had horrible breath. Whenever Halitosis opened her mouth, horrible things happened. The plant, it's dying. Uh-oh. The fish is swimming upside down. That's not a good sign. The painting of the Mona Lisa is plugging her nose. And look, the wallpaper is even curling off the wall. Must be really bad. When the children took Halitosis for a walk, everyone else walked on the other side of the street. Even skunks stayed away from Halitosis. But the real trouble started one day when Grandma Tosis stopped by for a cup of tea, and Hallie jumped to say hello. Mr. and Mrs. Tosis were not amused. Something has to be done with that smelly dog, they said. The next day, Mr. and Mrs. Tosis decided to find a new home for Hallie. The children knew that the only way they could save their dog was to get rid of her bad breath. So they took Halitosis to the top of a mountain that had a breathtaking view. I spy a wanted poster for burglars, too. Wonder what that's about. They hoped that the breathtaking view would take Hallie's breath away. But it didn't. Next, the children took Halitosis to a very exciting movie. They hoped that all the excitement would leave Hallie breathless. Do you think it worked? Oh, but it didn't. Finally, the children took Halitosis to a carnival. They hoped that Hallie would lose her breath on the speedy roller coaster. Oh man, she lost her breath all right. And it affected everyone behind her. She looks happy though. But that idea stunk too. The plans to change Hallie's bad breath had failed. Now only a miracle could save Halitosis. Sadly, the three friends said goodnight, unaware that there was a miracle just on the horizon. Later that night, when everyone was sound asleep, two sneaky burglars crept into the Tosis house. The two burglars were tiptoeing through the dark, quiet rooms when suddenly they came upon Halitosis. Yikes, whispered one burglar. It's a big, mean, scary dog. Oh, don't be silly, whispered the other burglar. That's only a cute little fuzzy puppy. The two burglars giggled at the sight of such a friendly little dog. That dog couldn't hurt a fly, whispered one burglar. Come here, Poochie, 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 whispered the other. So Halitosis came over and gave the burglars a nice big kiss. Slurp! The next morning, the Tosis family awoke to find two burglars passed out cold in their living rooms. It was a miracle. The Tosis family got a big reward for turning in the crooks, and soon Halitosis was the most famous crime-fighting dog in the country. In the end, Mr. and Mrs. Tosis changed their minds about finding a new home for Hallie. They decided to keep their wonderful watchdog after all. Look at their sign. It says, "This home protected by dog breath." Because life without halitosis just wouldn't make any sense. And they spell sense, the smelly sense. There wouldn't be any smell if she wasn't there. The end. I hope you like that one. I think it's super funny. Our next one is going to be called I Am the Dog by Daniel Pinkwater. And the illustrations were done by Jack E. Davis. Here we go. I am Jacob. My dog is Max. That's a cute dog. One night we decided to change places. What do you say, Max? Tomorrow you can be me and I will be you. Max liked the idea. Max slept in my bed. I slept on the rug. When we woke up in the morning, Max was the boy and I was the dog. I stretched. I yawned. I scratched behind my ear. All the things I had seen Max do. I could tell already I was going to like being a dog. Max was in the bathroom brushing his teeth. He ate a lot of toothpaste. Silly Max. We went downstairs. The family was having breakfast. Have some cereal, my dear, my mother said. I am the dog today, I said. Could you put my bowl on the floor? Certainly, dear. Would you like your orange juice in a bowl too? Max sat at the table and ate with the family. He liked that. Look at Max eating all that bacon. May I run around in the yard now? I asked my mother. Yes, my mother said, but stay away from my bushes. My mother drove Max to school. The kids were all happy to see Max. They all wanted to pet him and feed him things. I could see that Max liked being at school. After school, Max took me to the park. The park is great when you are a dog. There are so many things to sniff. There are so many trees. I chased a squirrel. I met another dog, and a lady gave me a cookie. Max threw a ball. I ran after it. He threw it again. I ran after it again. For some reason, I never get tired of doing that. When Max got tired of throwing the ball, he scratched my ears. I liked that too. At home, I got in trouble. I ate my Max's homework. The dog ate my homework, Max said. My teacher will never believe this. My mother made me stay in the garage for an hour, and Max got to play video games. My father came home. I was happy to see him. I jumped up. I kissed his face. Look, Jacob, you get kibble for dinner. Oh, I love kibble. I love kibble. I love kibble. I could eat kibble every day for the rest of my life. I don't even know what kibble is, but I love kibble. Max had spaghetti and meatballs, and he loved it. After supper, I felt like running around the yard again. In the evening, the family was together in the living room. My father sat in his armchair. He watched TV. My mother read a book. Max had to do his homework over again. I snoozed. I was happy. That night I slept in my bed and Max slept on his rug. When we woke up in the morning, Max was the dog again and I was the boy. That's how things are supposed to be. But both of us had learned something. Being a dog is better. The end. How many of you would like to trade places with a dog for a day? I wouldn't mind taking all those naps. Oh, naps sound so good to Miss Sarah. I hope you enjoyed story time with me, and I'll see you again soon.